Hey, welcome back to the Weekly Word. It's the last weekly word of July, and boy, I'm starting to look forward to fall so bad this time of year. I'm up here walking right now on Star Mountain Road. It's a little bit cooler up here, but it's still already getting miserably hot. And I was walking by one of these big boulder fields and thinking about rattlesnakes. I hear chipmunks up there every once in a while, also known as rattlesnake lunchables. A story popped into my head, an old Cherokee legend about a fellow who was walking down the road like this one time, but it was late fall and it was a cold morning, and on the side of the road he saw a rattlesnake, and he looked, and that rattlesnake it was frozen, just about dead. It was frozen stiff, and he picked that snake up and he put it inside of his shirt, started warming it up, and he continued to walk on down the road, and a little while he felt that rattlesnake start to move a little bit. He walked a little bit farther and it got a little bit warmer, and he felt that rattlesnake start to move a whole lot in there. And then it bit him. And he reached inside his shirt, he grabbed that rattlesnake and he pulled it out, and he said, "Why'd you bite me?" He said, "I had compassion on you." He said, "I picked you up." He said, "You would have been dead if it wasn't for me, but now you've bit me and I might die." And the rattlesnake looked at him and said, "You knew I was a rattlesnake when you picked me up." Well, that's a wonderful lesson, because there's some of you out there watching this right now that you've probably brought a whole lot of trouble into your own life, and you wouldn't have done so if you just wouldn't have picked the rattlesnake up to start with. Rattlesnakes can come in a lot of different forms. Sometimes it's a relationship, and you knew the guy or the gal was a rattlesnake when you picked them up. But you had to wait and find out for yourself, didn't you? And then there's a lot of heartache and suffering comes in it. Sometimes I see this pop up everywhere anymore. People say, "Follow your heart." That's the dumbest advice that you'll ever hear, folks. Don't follow your heart. God gives you a brain to rule your heart. In fact, Jesus warns you. He says, out of the heart, he says, comes all kinds of problems. He listed a whole thing of sins and dirty booger list there. He says, out of the heart comes all kinds of problems. Yeah, there's a place for the heart. You know, you love God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. God gives you a mind to rule your heart. But if your heart's ruling your mind, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Don't pick up that rattlesnake. Your brain will tell you not to pick it up, even if your heart is in love with it, kind of thing. And as I said, rattlesnakes come in a whole lot of forms. Rattlesnake can be any kind of sin. You know that ain't right, but you follow your heart instead of your head, and then the next thing you've got a rattlesnake in your bosom. In fact, the Bible's got a story much like that Cherokee legend. It's just one sentence out of Proverbs, and it says, "Can a man take fire into his bosom and not be burned?" Remember that, folks. Let your mind overrule your heart, or you'll end up with more trouble than you ever wanted to get into. All right, we're looking forward to Weekly Words in August coming up, and I hope that you'll join us, and it won't be long to fall. Let's just hope that the cool weather comes in here soon. We'll see you next week on the Weekly Word. I'm going to walk on down the road here.